On the ground in Israel, fears of a wider war still growing and humanitarian aid finally arriving in Gaza. Plus, we're hearing from the family of the 2 American hostages freed by Hamas. You'll see that first on GMA. And then the former Major League pitcher charged with murder in the killing of his father-in-law. We'll have the details on that and so much more on Good Morning America.
KSAT community wants to remind you to roll up your sleeves and get your flu shot. There is one more chance for you to get a free vaccine courtesy of Bexar County and University Health. That opportunity is coming up Saturday, November 4th. Starts today at 8 o'clock in the morning, lasts till noon. If you want to register, all you have to do is go to KSAT Community Flu Shot Vaccine article on our website right now. You can get that registration taken care of. Hey, still coming up. Today is the first day of early voting for this year's election. What you need to know before you head to the polls. That's coming up in the next hour. Also in the next hour, the Battle of Texas comes down to one game tonight with a spot in the World Series on the line. And we'll talk about what happened last night and look ahead to tonight between the Rangers and the Astros. And we take a live look outside with Trans Guy. Traffic moving pretty good this morning. I think we've had one accident. There's some rain in the forecast, though, so roads might get a little slick. Stephen Cavasso says your traffic. Mike Osterhage, with a little humidity and rain possibility coming up in the next hour of GMSA.
And right now on GMSA, San Antonio fire crews are still trying to figure out what sparked that fire on the city's east side overnight. What we were able to learn from that scene. Plus,
the war between Israel and Hamas continues to intensify. Micah Jachi reporting in Washington. Coming up, why the Biden administration is asking Israel to delay its ground incursion.
And if you're just waking up, there's a live look outside with Live Cam. There could be some wet spots on the road. Yes, some showers overnight, and hopefully they will continue all throughout the day and probably throughout the week. Michael Osterhage got your forecast coming up.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning. It is 6 a.m. on the dot. It is Monday, October 23rd. It's a beautiful day.
yes, it is. Thanks
Mondays
for
are
joining
beautiful
us.
days.
Well, it is today because we're expecting some rain. So that humidity that you feel when you open the door, that'll all pay off later.
We love Mondays.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean when you said hopefully it continue to rain all day long. The chance of rain and it is going to be there. And yes, there will be some, but in your backyard, continuing all day long is not going to be the situation.
Just mine?
Just yours. So.
Lucky you, David.
In other words, the rain's going to be kind of spotty, sort of scattered throughout the course of the day. Matter of fact, right now, nothing out there at 4:10, and there are a few showers out in portions of the hill country up there around Austin. We did have a couple of little sprinkles here in town earlier this morning, and there's a few more down there to the southwest, going down 35 just to the northwest of Cotulla. Little spot of some light rain. Most of this is on the light side, but we will continue with all the moisture. You can see all these showers moving up to the north to northeast because all that moisture coming in there from the tropical system, Norma in the Pacific Ocean. So that's what's feeding that. Plus along the Gulf Coast, we're getting a lot of that moisture coming on in here. 75 degrees right now. We're almost anywhere from 15 to 20 above normal. Normal low is 58 degrees right now. And you can see even low 70s in portions of the hill country and just a ton of humidity. So get used to having low temperatures in the low 70s. Get used to having all the humidity around here. And you might as well just grab your umbrella and light rain jacket just to know where it is, because at some point over the course of the next few days, you're going to be needing it. Mold, fall elm, pigweed, ragweed, all on the low side. Temperatures really aren't going to be moving all that much as opposed to last week when we had the clear skies and the very dry air. It was really cold in the morning and then warmed up big in the afternoon. 10 degrees just about is what we're going to be warming up throughout the course of the day. 85 high temperature, a few scattered showers. Like I said, just know where your rain gear is, because at some point over really the rest of the week with rain chances sticking around, you're going to need it at some point. All those details and a look ahead to the last weekend of October already. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen. Any problems with wet roads?
Not at all. Not yet,
wow.
Mike. We've entered 6 a.m. with little to no issues out there. We're going to see a few more folks wake up with us and get the day started, hopefully with a good cup of coffee as we get the new work week rolling there for you. But 90 at Nogalitos, you can see a little bit on some of these TransGuide cameras where traffic is picking up. 37 at 410. And again, our favorite shot there at 37 at the Alamo Dome, where we have a beautiful shot of the Tower of the Americas. Things are moving just fine. We take you to our map, and it's the same story here, folks. Plenty of green out there, which does indicate you have the roads pretty much to yourself, but keep this in mind. More people are waking up and getting that day started, so just watch out if you see any other vehicles out there. If you are traveling into San Antonio this early from Bernie, it should be about a 23-minute commute along I-10 eastbound. No need to hurry if you are traveling in from Bulverde. It's 25 minutes for those drivers. And right now, not too awful from New Braunfels. 35 southbound, we have a 24-minute commute, at least at this hour. So things, again, started off pretty quiet here in the traffic department. We had one major crash earlier in the morning that cleared out pretty quickly. Traffic, though, moving at 410 at McCullough without trouble. But we'll watch things closely, and I'll have more updates for you throughout the morning. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Chief Wade McManus says the investigation is far from over regarding the latest deadly shooting by an officer.
He says the man who the officer shot and killed early this morning was armed with a gun.
Katrina Weber is live at the apartment complex where it all happened early this morning. It's on General McMullen near Billy Mitchell Boulevard. So, Katrina, what do you know about that man who was killed so far?
Well, I think it depends on who you ask. We talked to some friends who were leaving those flowers and candles right there. They told us this man was 34 years old, a father of 7, someone who they described as a protector. Police, on the other hand, told us that he has a lengthy criminal history. Now, we spoke to Chief McManus this morning. He told us that the man was putting up a fight when the officer shot and killed him around 2 o'clock this morning. He says the officer was patrolling the area here near the Winston Square apartments when he saw the man showing off a gun in his waistband. McManus says the man ran away, but the officer caught up to him and used a taser on him. At some point, he says there was a struggle, then the officer pulled his gun and shot the man. We also spoke to people here who say they witnessed it all, and they told us the man was on the ground with his hands behind his back when he was shot in the back. Now, Chief McManus says there is going to be a thorough investigation, which includes looking at the officer's body camera video. And he stressed when he spoke to reporters that he had not had a chance to do so just yet. But again, friends here who we talked to say that they have what they have seen and heard so far is not what they like. They are disagreeing sort of with what the police have had to say. Now, by the way, this is the second time within a week that police have shot and killed someone. It was last Wednesday when they shot another man who they say had threatened them with a gun. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Also new this morning, San Antonio fire crews are still trying to figure out what caused a warehouse fire on the city's east side last night. So this happened around 9 p.m. in the 7400 block of Ritterman Drive. The separated strip center housed a tire shop, an auto shop, a printing company, and a granite shop. Fire officials say that the flames were put down after 30 minutes. This was after crews arrived. One business had fire, water, and smoke damage, and 2 others just had water and smoke damage. No one was hurt, and the crews were able to rescue a dog from the flames.
Overseas to that ongoing war between Israel and Hamas, the Biden administration asking Israel to delay their expected ground incursion into Gaza.
As ABC's Ika Jati reports, the idea is to buy more time for hostages and to get more international aid to the area.
This morning, Israeli Defense Forces stepping up its attacks on terrorist targets, striking a refugee camp in Gaza, killing 40 Palestinians, including women and children, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry. Elsewhere, Israeli fighter jets striking a mosque in the West Bank, which Israel says thwarted an imminent terror attack. At least 2 people were killed. This drone video showing buildings pulverized. A Palestinian journalist says he scooped up these 2 wounded toddlers, rushing them to a hospital. ABC's Matt Gutman reports what happens next in Gaza will unfold in 3 stages.
The first will comprise the most intense fighting. That's the invasion of the Gaza Strip. The second stage is cleanup operations, finding remaining Hamas cells and weaponry, destroying them. The third stage is rehabilitation, restoring essential services in Gaza, perhaps a government.
The Biden administration urging Israel to delay a ground invasion in Gaza in order to allow time for the release of more hostages. Israel says Hamas is holding at least 212 hostages, including some Americans.
I'm scared because what does that mean? I don't know where is my daughter. Nobody knows.
On Friday, Hamas releasing a mother and daughter from the Chicago area, Judith and Natalie Ranan, in a deal brokered by Qatar. Meanwhile, the humanitarian crisis inside Gaza is growing. People are running out of food, water, medicine, and fuel. 15 aid trucks arriving in Gaza over the weekend, slowly trickling in. Still, hundreds of additional trucks packed with critical aid waiting at Egypt's Rafah border. There are fears the conflict could widen, the U.S. now moving a second carrier strike group and missile defense system into the region. Aika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
And back here at home, she has visited the entire world, meeting people and learning about their cultures as she carries the message of refugee children internationally. Little Amal is a 12-foot tall puppet of a 10-year-old Syrian girl. And now she's visited our home here in San Antonio with the help of local organizations. She's been in countries like Turkey, Greece, and Poland, representing the urgent needs of refugees, immigrants, and asylum seekers. And she spent this weekend in the Alamo City to meet kids at Lionsfield Park.
We at the museum serve all children, and we're here today to celebrate the unity of children.
You can read more about Little Amal and her adventures at ksat.com.
Before we go to break, KSAT Community wants to remind you to roll up your sleeve and get your flu shot. There is one more chance for you to get a free flu shot from Bexar County and University Health. That opportunity is a couple of weeks away, so mark your calendar, Saturday, November 4th from 8 a.m. until noon. If you want to register, just find the KSAT Community Flu Shot article on our website on ksat.com.
And the time now, 6:09 and 75 degrees for now.
Still to come, the countdown is on till opening night for the San Antonio Spurs, while the team is locking down some of their young talent before the season starts.
And after the break, the Battle of Texas comes down to one game tonight with a spot in the World Series on the line. We're going to have a preview of Game 7 between the Rangers and Astros.
And once again, outside with live cam, if you're just waking up, could be a little moisture on the road this morning. A couple of rain showers here and there. We'll check in with Stephen Cavazos on the traffic and Mike Osterhage on your weather. It's going to be an interesting week.
Originally called Mary's Gold, the Marigold is named after the Virgin Mary. But in Mexico, it's called cempasúchil, the flower of the dead. Placed on graves and used to decorate altars during the Day of the Dead, it's believed the flower's vibrant colors and strong scent can lure souls back to the living. Since they bloom in early summer and die at fall's first frost, they also symbolize the fragility of life. The name cempasúchil is Aztec and roughly translated to flower of many petals. For the Aztecs, the flower was sacred, and its bright color represented the sun. Native to the Americas, it was cultivated for decorative, magical, medicinal, and agricultural purposes. And they were thought to cure hiccups and were often planted near crops. As a matter of fact, the marigold produces a natural insecticide. Once Spanish explorers discovered the hardy plant, they took the seeds back to Europe. Now hundreds of varieties grow across the globe, including India, where the marigold has become an important ceremonial flower. For Hindus, the marigold symbolizes surrender to the divine.
And the Texas Rangers and Houston Astros have battled back and forth all week in the American League Championship Series. Game 6 last night, the Rangers kept their season alive. Houston continued to struggle at home. They're now 1-5 in the postseason at Minute Maid Park. So here's some of the highlights. Texas up 4-2 in the 8th. Jose Leclerc is in a jam in the 8th. He's got bases loaded. Jonathan Singleton is at the plate. Here's Leclerc's pitch, and there's a swing and a miss, and he got out of that jam. We go to the top of the 9th. Rangers add to the lead. Adalis Garcia, remember, he is the one in all the controversy. Hit a home run in Game 5. Then he got hit by a pitch, got in the face of the catcher. Bench is cleared. Well, he showed a little more, let's say, he was a little more subdued running around the bases last night. How about that? After that grand slam. Yeah, Dusty Baker not happy. 9-2 is the way it ended. So here we go. Tonight, 7:03, it's the Rangers and the Astros. Winner heads to the World Series. Big weekend for Spurs center Zach Collins. He agreed to a 2-year extension worth $35 million, keeping him in silver and black through the 25-26 season. Spurs wrapped up the preseason on Friday night in San Francisco, taking on the Golden State Warriors. Rookie Victor Wembanyama, 21 minutes, 19 points, including 2 threes, 4 rebounds, preseason high of 5 blocks. Now the fun begins. The season gets all started. The real stuff. That wasn't real. That was kind of fake basketball there. Preseason stuff. Now the real stuff begins. So Wednesday night, we'll see what I was looking at Dallas. We'll see what the Spurs can do. Right? I know. Mavericks are in town. Then it's the Rockets, and then they go to the LA Clippers. So this is going to be fun. And we're going to have crews all over town getting ready for the big game on Wednesday night. Tip-off isn't until like 8:30 because naturally they want a national broadcast because it's Victor Wembanyama, which is great.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Here we go. Speaking of the Cowboys, they are enjoying a bye week coming off their Monday Night Football win against Los Angeles. They're currently 4-2, second in the NFC East. It would be nice to see Dak continue to build off that win over the Chargers, wouldn't it? He threw for a season-high 272. And even better, did not throw one pick. However, the O-line has some things to do because he was sacked 5 times last week. That's not good. All right, so the Cowboys will host the Rams Sunday noon, AT&T Stadium. KSAT Sports is going to be there for that one. As for the Texans, they're going to play the Carolina Panthers next. The Carolina Panthers, should be playing in the college championship instead of in the NFL because they are horrible. They're like 0-6. Houston 3-3.
Who's worse, them or the Bears?
That's a good question. Hey, your Lions, what happened to them?
I don't know.
They were flying high. It's okay.
It's okay.
6-17-75. Let's check this.
Hey, guys, good morning. Well, things are moving along just fine in my department, 410 at 151, as we get a look at just a little bit more of that traffic. But we did actually have another crash to report here, and this is reported by TxDOT. Right there, 410 eastbound at Wetmore Road, you could see that a crash has been reported out there. We're not seeing a buildup in the eastbound lanes just yet, but I'm going to have to keep a close eye on that. I've been combing through some of the cameras out there from TxDOT and TransGuide. I'm not seeing anything just yet, but I'll talk to our friends over there and see if they have a different vantage point to show us. Now, the wider view of the map, it's still pretty quiet, I'd say. If we're getting closer to 6:30, I would say US 90 eastbound is going to be the first spot where we see that congestion that builds up. But if you're traveling along I-10 at any point this week, you want to plan ahead. I-10 in Kendall County, we have paint work taking place. This takes us all the way up till Friday, October 27th, but that work starts at 9 this morning and should finish at 3 this afternoon. We'll see alternating lane closures on the frontage road in both directions. That's east and west from Scenic Loop Road to State Highway 46. A lot of information coming at you this early in the morning, but if you scan that QR code, that information will be at your fingertips. It takes you to our KSAT traffic page. I have updated the list of closures that are happening this week in and around the Alamo City. Always good to know what to expect before you have to hit the roadways, but other than that, I'm just seeing some dry roads from these shots at TransGuide, at least for now.
Yeah, I thought for a minute I was still watching the Michigan State game in different uniforms when they just beat up on them that Lions game yesterday. Good Lord.
Ouch.
The other thing, Wemby, so tall in his agility. I mean, he runs around like he's 6'3" almost.
He's got some,
the way he can move.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how teams play him the first time through, and then when you start seeing him 2 or 3 times in the season, see how they adjust to him.
And being so tall and rather slender, how he deals underneath the net with some of the bigger guys, and all the
well, he's either 7'3" barefooted or he's 7'5" with shoes.
I know
on,
that
so
always
depends.
changes. Yeah,
lifts and issues. Anyway,
just a little bit.
School bus this morning. Watch out for a couple of sprinkles, and
here it comes.
Just have an umbrella handy. Keep it handy all week long. Warm and humid. A couple of showers going to be out there today. Temperatures aren't really moving throughout the day.
I don't know if he hears you.
10 degrees.
I don't think he does.
He did.
What, the air brakes again?
No, I did the air brakes.
Usually they
stop
don't.
sign.
Do buses have air brakes though? I know semis do. So anyway, 85 degrees for high temperature later on today with a couple of scattered showers and a few thunderstorms around here. And you are going to, at some point this week, need your that light rain jacket and umbrella. It's not like it's going to be cold or anything like that. We've got some of these showers out here in portions of the hill country. You can see even a heavier downpour way out northwest of Junction. But notice how all of this moisture is coming in here from the southwest across the mountains of Mexico and feeding into our area. And so that's going to be the situation. That's that tropical system, which was Hurricane Norma, which is pumping all the moisture on in here. So not only are we getting it from the Gulf, but also from the Pacific Ocean. In and around town, we've had a few little sprinkly showers, maybe a couple of them right there on the north side of Bexar County as of right now. But again, there'll be a few of them out there. 87 yesterday, still way above normal by 7 degrees, but it wasn't up in the low 90s like it was Friday and Saturday, although we had the lower humidity on those 2 days. Today, close to that. We're going to be mid 80s pretty much all around the area, still on the above normal side, and that's going to be the situation throughout the rest of the week. Here's a computer model. And again, it's not going to rain everywhere. It's not going to rain constantly, but we will have a couple of showers scattered about here and there. That's going to be the situation in toward dinner time and then going into the early evening hours. And there may actually be one or two thunderstorms out there as well. Humidity. Yeah, it's going to be sticking around. It's going to be high throughout the rest of the week, and that's what's going to help low temperatures stay very mild and then help out with the cloud cover and some of the rain. All right, here's what's going on with the upper level winds. So we've got this low, which is digging out here, and that's helping to pump in all the moisture from the Pacific Ocean, and that's going to stay pretty much out there just to the west of us, remaining as sort of the moisture pump through the middle portion of the week. Then I think rain chances tend to taper a bit going into the latter part of the week as that low sort of dissolves. Then we're watching the next big trough developing out there to the west. It's going to be a while before it gets here, but right now it is looking, and notice how this thing is not just right on top of us, but it's at the surface going to send a front on through here on Monday. However, we'll still have moisture on top of that, so we may still have some showers around, although much chillier temperatures than by this time next week. Actually, right now the front looks like it's going to be moving through about midday. A week away, that can change. Speaking of the next week, not much is going to change all week long. We're going to stay in the low to mid 80s for high temperatures. I think better rain chances sort of the first half of the week, but still, you can't rule out just a couple of showers even going in toward the weekend. And low temperatures, boy, if you like consistency, yeah, low 70s all the way across the board right there. But we are looking forward to something big maybe this time next week. Details, that's coming up. More after the break. Stick around.
When moderate to severe ulcerative colitis takes you off course, put it in check with Rinvoq, a once daily pill.
When I wanted to see results fast, Rinvoq delivered rapid symptom relief and helped leave bathroom urgency behind. Check.
When UC tried to slow me down, I got lasting steroid-free remission with Rinvoq. Check.
And when UC caused damage, Rinvoq came through by visibly repairing my colon lining. Check. Rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission.
And a chance to visibly repair the colon lining. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Put UC in check and keep it there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq and learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Welcome back. It is 6:27. In your morning consumer headlines, Apple appears to be ready to roll out its latest laptops and desktop. The reported product launch may include a new iMac, which hasn't been upgraded in 2.5 years. According to Bloomberg, 2 new MacBook Pros could also be unveiled. The event expected to take place later this month.
And Toyota is the latest automaker to adopt the charging standard used by Tesla's superchargers. Toyota says certain vehicles will have the standard's charging ports in 2025. It gives customers access to more than 12,000 superchargers.
It's 6:28. It's humid 75 degrees.
Yes, it is very humid. And looking out there with TransGuide, looks like we have flashing lights over there at Loop 410 and Broadway. We're going to be checking in with our Stephen Cavazos to see what all of that is about.
Right now, GMSA San Antonio Police investigating a deadly shooting overnight by an officer. Katrina Weber standing by to tell us what happened and what police are saying about the man who was killed.
Plus, Texas is on its 3rd special session this year. Why the latest battle in Austin is focused on COVID vaccines and your job.
And outside with live cam, we're not going to see much sun when it rises today. That's my guess. I don't think so, because there's a lot of clouds out there, a lot of humidity. Hopefully, somebody's going to get some rain today.
Maybe a good payoff. Good morning. Nice. Happy Monday. It is October 23rd. Thanks so much for joining us today.
We like Mondays.
Yeah.
Because Mondays may bring some rain. So, you know.
I agree.
And Monday means Monday's out of the way, too, so you can get...
I like the way you think.
One day closer to Friday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You were talking about sunshine. No, sunshine's going to be very limited, not only today, but over the course of the next few days. There's all those clouds you were talking about out there, and it does look like 410 at 10 is on the dry side for the time being. We've had a couple little sprinkles. David, Stephen both said they ran into some earlier this morning. There were some showing up on radar earlier in and around San Antonio, not really anything right now. 75 degrees. It is warm and it is humid. Dew point's at 71. Get used to that, the humidity, and get used to having low temperatures stay anywhere from 15, almost 25 degrees above normal. Here's radar right now, and well, a little spot with maybe some heavier rain right there south of Kerrville. A lot of light little scattered showers around the area, and even in Atascosa County, a couple of those. We've, like I said, had some here in town earlier this morning. This is pretty much when it's going to be, and then that will start to pick up a bit more later on this afternoon, but it's not like it's going to be raining everywhere nor constantly. 70s all around the area with the exception of Lost Maples. Everybody's got a ton of humidity, and like I said, that's the way it's going to be staying. Mold, fall, elm, pigweed, ragweed, all on the low side. And this morning, warm, humid, couple of showers, mainly out to the west, taking into account all of those scattered light showers out there in portions of the hill country. Then throughout the rest of today, scattered showers, couple of storms. We're going to be in the mid 80s. Not as warm as yesterday, of course, nowhere near as hot as Friday, Saturday were up in the 90s. But then again, we had the low humidity on those 2 days, so humidity is definitely back and very consistent the rest of the week. We're going to have highs in the low 80s, lows in the low 70s, and some rain, some scattered rain here and there. Might as well just keep your umbrella and rain jacket handy, because at some point over the course of the next 7 days, you're probably going to be needing it. Then we go into the weekend. Still a couple of showers, although I think rain chances do diminish late in the week going into the weekend, but 1 or 2 of them out there. And just a little hint, next week, by about this time next week, as it's looking right now, we're going to be watching a front that's going to be moving on through the area. Pretty good one as far as temperatures. More on that coming up. Traffic Authority. Stephen, any problems out there?
Hey, Mike, we did at least have one problem there at 410, and this is a shot at Broadway. Now, our friends at TransGuide have been keeping a very close eye on the area, and we did have some flashing lights, but it looks like that has already cleared out. And keep this in mind, too. There was a crash reported not too far from there at 410 eastbound at Wetmore Road. And as I mentioned earlier, this is not causing any issues for the early morning commute, but you want to be on the lookout because we are entering morning rush, and that is when we start to see a little bit more of that congestion that builds in on our map. And you can see it right behind me. And as I mentioned, it's that usual hotspot, US 90 eastbound. If you are heading in from Castroville, you all are familiar with that. But State Highway 151 eastbound, we're seeing a little bit of that congestion build up out there as well. And of course, 35 southbound if you are heading in from Live Oak. But back here in town, the roads look a lot better, but they're getting busier. So I'll keep a close eye on things, and I'll have more updates for you in the next few minutes. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Body camera video will play a big role in the investigation of an overnight shooting by a San Antonio police officer.
The officer shot and killed a man who he says was armed with a gun. Katrina Weber is live at the apartment complex where it all happened.
Katrina, this is on South General McMullen near Billy Mitchell Boulevard. This is the second deadly shooting by police in less than a week.
Well, that's right. The last shooting we covered was last Wednesday morning when police say that they shot a man who threatened them with a gun. Well, this morning they say they took the same action against another man who was armed and put up a fight. Chief William McManus spoke to reporters right after it happened, saying that this was an officer was patrolling at the Winston Square Apartments when the shooting happened. He says the officer initially saw the man around 2 this morning showing off a gun in his waistband. He says the man ran from the officer. Then at some point, the officer used a taser on him, but it had no effect.
They struggled over the gun after that tasing attempt, the suspect and the officer, and at some point during that struggle, the officer stepped back and shot the individual.
He didn't pull out a gun at all. Like, he was laying on the floor and with his hands like that, and when his hands were like that, that's when he started shooting him in the back.
The people here at the apartment complex telling a different story about what happened, and they're also questioning why it even happened. When McManus spoke to news crews, he stressed that he had not seen the officer's body camera video yet and that the investigation is not over. He did mention that the man who the officer shot and killed had a lengthy criminal record. Now, friends here told us that the man was 34 years old and the father of 7 children. Now, some of them, as you can see here, left flowers and candles outside here in his memory. This is the spot where the shooting happened. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. At 5:35 in Austin, the Texas legislature almost at the halfway point of its 3rd special session this year.
On the agenda are school vouchers, border security, and COVID mandates. Our Avery Everett shows us how one bill aims to bar COVID vaccine mandates for private employers and what impact that could have in San Antonio.
Right, it's a classic battle about individual rights.
A bill that could ban COVID-19 vaccine mandates for private employers is moving through the state legislature in the third Texas special session.
The consensus was that this wasn't something that was not finished.
The state Senate passed Senate Bill 7 just a week ago, and it's now in the House. On Thursday, it was discussed in a public hearing.
And those political science professors say this is far from the first attempt by Texas Republicans to ban these types of mandates. Just a couple of weeks ago, on September 1st, a law went into effect banning any governmental entities from requiring a mask or COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Now, weeks later, with a focus on the private sector, Texas Democrats say this is a safety concern.
Some healthcare industry businesses have also been in opposition.
This comes as Metro Health reports that there have been a decrease in COVID-19 cases across San Antonio in the last few weeks. But with winter ahead, there are concerns COVID-19 numbers could bounce back. Political science professors saying this is just another reason the clock is ticking for this bill.
I think they're hoping that that will end up being a little bit of the compromise.
With half of the third special session still at play,
this is still kind of a hot issue for folks around the country as well.
This bill still has a long journey before it could become a law.
Today marks day 15 of this third special session here in Texas. Now, remember that in Texas, these special sessions can only last 30 days, meaning the clock is ticking to see what could happen to private employers and these COVID-19 vaccine mandates. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
And today is the first day of early voting for the November 7th election. There will not be any federal offices on this year's ballot. However, 14 Texas constitutional amendments will, and so will a few local offices. So for a complete list of those amendments and to find out what else will be voted on, you can find that article on our website at ksat.com.
1 in 8 women in the United States will develop breast cancer in her lifetime. October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we want to make sure that you have the right information to take care of yourself.
A breast radiation oncologist with UT Health San Antonio MD Anderson Cancer Center joined Leading SA this weekend to explain what families should know.
Dr. Dalwadi joined us. We talked about a lot. We talked about how big an issue breast cancer is here locally in San Antonio. We also talked about methods of detection, what you and your family need to know, making sure that everyone stays safe. Here's a little bit of our conversation.
Some risk factors are not preventable, such as age. Older women are more at risk, and being a woman. Other risk factors are preventable, such as obesity, never having pregnant or having a first child at an older age, the use of hormone replacement pills. Other risk factors are radiation exposure or a family history of breast cancer or ovarian cancer.
You can check out our full conversation right now. Just head to the Leading SA section of ksat.com. Of course, we have Leading SA every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. So, guys, we'll see you next Sunday. Back to you.
640 and 75 degrees.
One of the country's biggest Dia de los Muertos festivals happening this weekend right here at Hemisphere in downtown San Antonio. I'm Sarah Costa. Coming up on GMSA, we give you a preview of the free celebrations.
Yeah, that's a beautiful event coming up this weekend. We hope the weather works out, but for now, nice and humid out there. 75 degrees. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. It is 6:44, so happening this weekend, the Dia de los Muertos Festival, and the free fun is at Hemisphere, and it's open to the public.
The festival is going to highlight nearly 100 altars, live performances, and a procession.
Sarah Costa spoke with the organizer of the event and shares how the festival celebrates our loved ones.
We started very small there. We had, I think, 30 altars, about 2 stages, and about 3,000 people for that first weekend.
When Jim Mendiola and his partner first brought the Dia de los Muertos festival to San Antonio, it was a small celebration. 11 years later, it has grown into San Antonio's biggest Day of the Dead festival that takes over Hemisphere downtown.
Now we're at 135,000 people over 2 days, and we're up to this year about 88 altars.
The 2-day free event is open to the public that celebrates tradition, art, and culture, with over 50 live performances on stage, a procession each day, and over 80 Day of the Dead altars. The altars are built by local artists and organizations celebrating their deceased loved ones.
The way we do it, where we ask the community to create altars, it's very specific to San Antonio. So what happens is it's sort of a yearbook of what's happened the past year, either locally, nationally, and people respond to it. It's a universal response to sort of remember what's happened in the past, your ancestors.
Mendiola says everyone experiences grief, loss, and remembrance, and it's seen in all these altars. However, coming together to remember our loved ones as a community helps us celebrate their lives and legacies.
I think what people walk away with is a mutual celebration of life.
So come celebrate Muertos Fest, October 28th and 29th at Hemisphere. And you can watch KSAT's broadcast of the event right here on KSAT 12 and all our streaming platforms on November 1st from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'm Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News.
And as you just heard, it's almost here. Muertos Fest is happening October 28th and 29th. And if you can't make it out there, don't worry. KSAT will bring you the best parts of the celebration right here on KSAT 12 on November 1st at 8 p.m. We're going to have all the information on our website at ksat.com.
All right, we've had some showers here and there, not real heavy or real quick, or more like real quick. So let's check in on traffic and see if there's anything going on out there with it.
Well, I've been keeping an eye out to see if I can spot any damp roads, and I can't from these particular shots at TransGuide, just traffic that's picking up a little bit out there. 410 at Broadway, we are seeing the east and westbound lanes a little bit more crowded now that we've entered morning rush. That's always expected, but I did have a few issues out reported earlier. Those have already cleared out, and you can see 37 at Hackberry, not necessarily looking too clear. We have a lot of that congestion that is already starting to form out there, and that is expected now that we are closer to that busy time where we see a lot more people out on the roadways. But just plan ahead, we're seeing a lot of stuff happening on US 90 each and every day, and this could definitely slow folks down. This concrete work that's been that will begin today, and finish on Friday, October 27th. Remember, this starts at 9 this morning and should end at 3 in the afternoon. But that single eastbound mainland closure could impact your drive time to the Alamo City from West Military Drive to General McMullen. You're going to see that out there, and that could, again, cause some congestion for your early commute. So just plan your commute ahead of time. Right now, things look pretty smooth from these shots at TransGuide, but it is expected to change, and we're expected to see a lot more folks. That's usually how it goes in my department.
Yeah, they'll probably get busy, especially for a Monday morning.
Mondays.
You summed it up quite well when you said a couple of scattered showers. Didn't last very long. You two saw some.
A little bit. Yeah.
And lasted how long?
Maybe, like
a couple of seconds, yeah.
4 wipes of the windshield wiper.
Exactly, right, and it was done.
I like that measurement.
Yeah, 4 wipes.
How many wipes? Yeah, so a little bit of light rain around the area this morning.
4 windshield wipes.
And you may need a windshield wiper here or there. Doesn't look like anything out there by the airport. One thing, big difference from this time last week, all the cloud cover out there, so we're not going to have those spectacular sunrises around here this week at all. And as far as rain, most of it obviously is up here in portions of the hill country north of our area, and then even further on out to the west, and all of this still coming in here from the mountains of Mexico. A little bit closer in, as you can see, there are a couple of showers that are now developing right around just in the north of Pearsall. You had a couple of those little sprinkles. Some of these may hold together and head in toward Devine right there around Poteet, and these will all continue to sort of work their way up to the north if indeed they do hold together. And that's going to be pretty much the call this morning. Just a couple of scattered showers here and there, not really any big deal. Temperatures are in the mid 70s right now, and they're going to be staying pretty steady and not moving all that much. Again, I compared to last week when we had all that cool, dry air in place, which cools down easily, heats up easily. We had those 30, 35 degree spans in temperatures throughout the day. Today, we're going to be lucky to go up about 10 degrees throughout the course of the day, and then we'll have a few more scattered showers and even a couple of thunderstorms around the area. Here's the satellite picture right now, and as you can see, everything is moving in here basically from the south and southeast. Moisture's coming in here from the Gulf of Mexico and then also from the Pacific Ocean, and this is all the moisture, and we started seeing some of these high clouds on Friday coming in here. This is from Norma, that tropical system over there in the Pacific Ocean. And this will continue to pump in a lot of moisture over the next couple of days. And that's when I think we have the best opportunity for some rain, is pretty much the first half of the week. We'll still have a few showers in the latter half of the week, but not quite as good of a chance. And again, it's going to be the scattered variety. Not everybody sees rain today. There'll be a couple of, decent showers here and there, not any real big deal. And then that's going to be the situation going into tomorrow as well. And just want to very quickly show long-range computer model. Again, this broad brushes things, but rain chances will be here in one way, shape, or another all week long. Like I said, better chances, I think, the first half of the week. Still a couple of showers left over on Thursday, Friday, even going into the weekend, 1 or 2 of them. Then we go into the first part of next week. We'll still have some rain around on Monday, but there's also, as it looks right now, pretty substantial front moving on through here on Monday as far as temperatures dropping down. Until then, consistency all week long. A couple of showers here and there every single day. Mid to low 80s every single day, low temperatures in the low 70s every single day. More after this.
One last look at your morning commute. Now, these TransGuide cameras are showing that things are picking up there out on the roadways, but the problem that we're seeing has actually not been detected just yet. We do have a new crash reported at Loop 410 northbound at FM 78, and at this time we know 2 lanes are blocked. FM 78, Seguin Road, that's where you can expect to see some flashing lights. And out there on TransGuide, you're going to see a lot more traffic. We're going to get you through the morning drive time, but Mike, I'm also keeping an eye out in case we see any of those damp roads, as you mentioned.
Yeah, we've got, little sprinkles here and there that have popped up. Still looks like things are dry out there, 410 by the airport. Lots of clouds hanging around here. And again, there's those little scattered showers, a few in Atascosa County, right down there over toward Frio County, heading up 35 in toward Divine. We've got a few more in portions of the hill country. Again, very scattered in nature, but grab an umbrella, grab a rain jacket just to have it handy, because not today, then over the next couple of days. Mid 70s right now, and also a ton of humidity. 81 at noon, 85 high temperature. So we are going to be in the above normal side. It's going to get breezy, especially later on this evening. And then there will be rain chances, not everywhere, not constantly, all week long. And consistent temperatures, anywhere from, say, 2 to 5 degrees above normal for the highs and roughly 15 above normal for the low temperatures. So real consistent all the way through the weekend. But then we're looking, as of right now, front to come through just about this time next week.
That would be wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. For now, we'll prepare for the rain.
Just in time for November.
Bye, guys.
See you back here at 9.